All right, so we're talking kayaks today. I have one of the kayaks that you guys would be using if you were in school. We're going to talk about some key parts of the kayak that you're going to need to know in terms of terminology for, whether it's carrying the kayaks from one point to another, like out of the car to the river to the lake, to, doing different types of skills or exits, rescues, all sorts of stuff. And you'll hear us refer to these particular parts of the kayak throughout the different skills. So it's good to kind of have an idea of kind of what we're talking about prior to going into learning about, the different maneuvers and skills that you're going to be learning in the class. All right, so first off, you have the hole here where you sit. Okay, this is called the cockpit, just like it would be on an airplane. That's where you're going to be sitting. Most kayaks have back supports, okay, like this, that can be adjusted to fit your own individual need. And also, too, it's important to note that inside the kayak, that you have these, this black lip on the inside, okay? And what this is you're going to be able to push your legs up underneath, all right, under here. And what that's going to do is if you, let's say you are flipped over upside down, keeping your legs under this lip will keep you inside the kayak and prevent you from falling out. So that way you can maybe perform a rescue on yourself and flip yourself back upright without having to get out of the kayak, which will save time, effort, and obviously if you're in, deeper water, a little bit further away from shore, it'll prevent you from having to swim the kayak back. Also, too, the bonus of having this type of lip here is it causes you to have more stability, because when you're sitting in the kayak and you maybe lean and rock your body from side to side, that will move the boat, and that can actually change the course of where you're going. It actually could cause the kayak to change direction. All right, so we have the kayak, the kayak cockpit. All right, here along the edge, you have this ring going around the edge of the cockpit. It's called the cockpit ring, and you'll see the purpose of this later. The skirt that keeps water from entering the cockpit where you're going to be sitting actually fits on the edge of this, and this serves a number of purposes. One, for the skirt to fit on the outside of, and also two, when you're performing partner rollover rescues or even the rear entries, which will all be skills we'll get into later. You're going to hear us reference this point and what you're going to grab onto and how you can get a good grip on the kayak to flip it over. On top, okay, you have the deck, all right, just like you would on a normal boat. All right, you have the deck of the boat, which is the top part, all right, here. And on the deck, you have handles here in the front, in the back, and then also up here. These are carry handles. This is how you would be transporting the boat. You just grab the handle and then you can carry it either by yourself, or I'd even recommend carrying it with a partner. Would definitely be easier, because you don't want to necessarily drag the kayak on the ground, because one, that'll make over time make the layer of plastic on the hull, which is the bottom part of the boat. You'll hear us reference that. The hull on the boat a little thinner. And believe it or not, any type of imperfections in the bottom of the boat could change how the water flows underneath it, causing it to maybe turn or drift a certain way or the other. So if there's no marks and it's completely smooth, the kayak will have a tendency to go, straighter, easier, as opposed to if there's different scrapes and scratches, depending on how deep they are, it could divert the water and cause it to drift one way or the other, okay? So we've gone over cockpit ring, deck, hull, all right, is the underneath part, carry handles, okay, and then you're going to have the bow, all right, which is going to be the front of the kayak, and then the stern, which is going to be the back of the kayak. All right, that's going to be pretty much the major key points of the kayak that you're going to need to know for purposes of performing the different skills. And then you're also going to have with you guys the paddles, okay? The paddles have the shaft, all right, which is the area you're going to be holding, and then you have the blades, okay? The blades are the part that actually go in the water. And a lot of people struggle with this. They always hold them backwards, all right, or they hold them upside down. What you want to do is you want to be able to see, all right, the name of it, Werner, all right here, all right, at the front. So if I'm holding it about hip width to shoulder width apart, and I should be able to see, all right, the name. All right, so if I'm looking at the name and it's upside down, I have it backwards, all right, and then also too, all right, if I'm looking at it and then the name's on the bottom, but facing away, that's going to be upside down as well. So you want to make sure that when you hold it, all right, that the name of the paddle is at the top, all right, and the angled part of the blade, all right, is up top, working its way down like this. Okay, so that's how you're going to hold the paddle, all right, when you perform the different skills. So shaft and blade, And then most kayaks do have the names here, or I should say not kayaks, most kayak paddles do have a name on it to kind of give you a little hint as to where you know, to put the paddle. And also too, it has a curve, all right, kind of like a big spoon. All right, the spoon should be facing you, all right, as you're going to help scoop that water past you.